We're about to dump our security. This feels really, really stupid.
No! No, please! No! Oh!
You have 19 hours to live. If we don't get money for you, we're going to kill you.
Let's go! Let's go!
There's a guy standing there with an AK-47. Inches from my head. My life's just vanished.
No!
I just heard one single gunshot. Basically taken her out of the mosque and they've executed her.
From Wondery, this is Locked Up Abroad. I'm your host, Jim Clementi. Today's episode is Nightmare in Somalia. In July 2008, Australian photojournalist Nigel Brennan is looking to make a name for himself. He joins photographer Amanda Lindhout on a trip to record the conditions in the refugee camps in Somalia. They're aware of the danger with rival militias fighting for control of the country, but feel protected by the guards assigned to travel with them. When they make a decision to go beyond their safety zone, they're kidnapped by a criminal gang. The ransom is set at $3 million. If it's not paid, they will be killed. What started out as a 7-day trip becomes a 462-day nightmare in captivity.
I was 36 years of age. I just finished a year working at a regional newspaper in Australia. I got on a plane and flew into Mogadishu. Amanda met me at the airport, and it was actually Amanda who had called me and said, would you be interested in doing a trip to Africa with me again? I'm a photographer. She's a video journalist. We had travelled together in 2006 through Ethiopia.
Wow, it's so great you're here.
Yeah, you too, babe.
We're both excited to be working together.
Ready?
Let's do this.
Okay.
As soon as we came out of customs, it was just wall-to-wall people. It was chaotic, and we were the only two white people. Someone from the government forces said,
What are you doing here?
We're freelance journalists.
We're here for 7 days.
he just said,
It's very dangerous here. It's very dangerous.
I knew there was a massive risk involved. Somalia was in the top 5 most deadliest countries in the world. I wouldn't have said it was going there for an adventure. It was certainly going there to get some great stories and trying to make a name for myself. The first person that we'd met was a Somalian guy.
Nige, this is Abdi. He's going to be our fixer.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
She'd organised the fixer.
Where's the car?
This way.
Great.
Let's go.
He had a vehicle waiting for us to be picked up.
This is security, and this is our driver.
We had 2 guys with AK-47s in the vehicle. It was comforting to know that we did have some sort of backup sitting in the back seat. Having watched stuff like Black Hawk Down, I knew Mogadishu was a pretty volatile place to be going into. 18 years of war had taken its toll on the city. There was a transitional government in place at that stage which controlled about 8 square blocks of Mogadishu. And that was it. Outside of that area was incredibly unstable. I didn't actually tell my family that I was going. I thought I'll shoot some stuff and I'll be back out in 7 days. The next day we went to a number of feeding stations which was organised through the World Food Programme. To be in a capital city where there are so many hungry people was pretty shocking in this day and age. I guess that was my whole reason for going. I wanted to document this. People need to see this. Because the capital city was so unstable, you never know where the front line is. You don't know where bullets are going to start flying. I guess when you're out in the open like that, you're a bit of a sitting duck. Bang, you're dead.
We have to go.
We stayed too long.
Said, listen to your fixer. When he tells you to go, go.
Amanda, we gotta go.
And Amanda's like, well, no.
I'm just finishing my work.
I'm doing my work here.
Let's go now.
Amanda.
All right.
I knew that kidnapping was a possibility in Somalia.
Let's go.
Is this now putting us at major risk?
Now.
All right.
Certainly by day 4, there was a bit of friction between Amanda and I.
Things are cost a lot more than we thought. No Western Union money transfer.
We'd organised to go out of Mogadishu to one of the smaller camps with about 45,000 people. We were travelling out into a militia-run area.
We'll pick up the extra security all along the way, okay?
Great.
Money transfer.
Amanda and I actually had a bit of an argument right before we left. I wanted to use some of her memory cards that day.
Amanda, can I borrow some of your memory cards?
No, you can't.
We were both being really harsh, I guess, with each other.
Hang on, we're meant to be working together. You're not going to be using them.
No. Okay, Abdi, let's go.
I was very close to saying, I'm out. You can go by yourself. It is stressful. You are under stress the whole time. It takes its toll when you're in a working climate like that. So we left, I think, at about 9:30. We're heading out of Mogadishu. I'm guessing the trip shouldn't take any longer than 20-25 minutes. Our security are in the back with their weapons. Just as we get to the outskirts of town, we come to a stop. 2 guys that are in the back, our security, they get out of the vehicle and bid us farewell. We're expecting them to be coming with us.
What's going on?
Abdi was like,
This is the limit of the government area.
for them to go into a militia-run area would be incredibly dangerous.
If these guys are seen by the militia, they will kill them.
Hang on, these are our security and we're about to dump our security. This feels really, really stupid.
I thought we'd arranged extra security for today.
Yes, they're waiting 5 kilometers down the road.
I guess we had 2 options. Turn around and go back to the hotel and call it a day, or take the risk of driving those 5Ks without any security in the car.
Do you want to turn back?
I guess there's risk involved in anything you do in life. This was certainly pushing the edge.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
We should have turned around at that point.
Let's go.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing, I guess. A kilometre down the road, there was a vehicle pulled up on the left-hand side that was flashing its lights. This is really strange. I just had a gut feeling. It's like, this guy's not good. This guy's a bad guy. And I look up, and there's a guy standing there with an AK-47. Your brain just can't compute what's going on. All the moisture in your mouth just vanishes. You're trying to swallow and it feels like you're swallowing dust. And I'm seriously, stupidly thinking they're just going to rob us. We're on the ground for a matter of seconds. And then boarded into the back of the Land Cruiser. Amanda was saying,
What's going on? What's going on?
Shut up! Don't talk!
we have 2 guys who are behind us pointing their guns at us. One simple bump and you've got a brain splattered everywhere. The car pulls in to a massive compound. The gates are closed behind us. Things were moving so quickly. It had obviously all been planned. No idea who these people were.
What is going on?
No idea what they were going to do with us. I could actually see Abdi basically being pushed into this room. It's just like this is not good. This is really not good. This guy had the most intense, evil set of eyes I've seen in a long time.
Do you have a passport?
He demanded our passports.
We left them at the hotel.
He turned to me and he said,
Do you have a cell phone?
at this stage I still had my mobile phone in my pocket and I wanted to keep it. May as well just cough it up now.
Yeah.
We've just been kidnapped. This is the reality of what's occurring here. It was absolutely stifling hot. And they left us for a period of time and then came back. They asked us who we were and what we were doing, and we explained to them.
I'm a photographer, and she's a video journalist.
And they said, both your governments are in a crusade against Islam, so we're going to hold you for a ransom. Pity, your stomach just drops out.
What do you think a fair ransom?
Commander and I explained that neither government would pay a ransom.
They won't pay.
The government won't pay a single dollar.
They will pay money for you.
And they said all governments pay.
The government isn't going to give you any money. Laglan?
No money, no life. You know, your life spins on a coin. My life's just basically vanished.
I always get hungry when I think about Blue Apron because it's the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country. And their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. Those who spend a lot at restaurants or at high-end grocery chains can now spend under $10 per person for a delicious meal. I'm really looking forward to the featured upcoming meal, basil pesto chicken with summer vegetables panzanella. One of the best things about Blue Apron is when the box arrives. You open it up and you're surprised by all the varieties of meals that they send to you. They send you exactly the right amount of ingredients for everything you have to cook, and they have this great recipe card which has pictures as well as a description of how you cook everything. Check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/lockedup. You're going to love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home-cooked meals with Blue Apron. That's blueapron.com/lockedup. Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
I knew that kidnapping was a possibility in Somalia. I didn't think that was ever going to happen to me. At that stage, I had no idea what the ransom price was being asked.
I've seen stuff that has gone on in Iraq with ransoms. You're looking at $1 million a head.
Well, I don't believe for a second the Australian government is going to cough up that.
I knew that my family were going to end up having to pay for the price of my return. I feel pretty stupid. The fact that I'm about to turn their lives upside down because of my ambition and me following my dream. It was very early the next morning.
You have spoken to your families.
He'd spoken to my sister. They said that they were holding us for ransom and they wanted money within 24 hours. No money, no life.
That's not possible.
For them to say, if we don't get any money within 24 hours, we're going to execute you, was pretty terrifying.
That's not possible.
Sit down. Go.
We're terrified. We mean nothing to them. They could just think, well, we've given them 24 hours. Bang, we're not going to waste our time. Over those next few hours, they used to come in and taunt us.
19 hours.
You have 19 hours to live. If we don't get money for you, we're going to kill you.
Are you ready to die?
How do you answer that?
Well, you may as well kill me now.
Oh, I was sort of thinking, this is way too explosive language. You know, they say in hostage situations, remain grey. Don't be outspoken because they will look for the hero in a group to make an example of.
Okay.
He glared at her and said,
If you are ready to die,
I'll take you outside now and I'll shoot you.
come.
Amanda backpedaled very quickly.
Of course I'm not ready to die.
To live in fear is a horrible thing. You have no control, absolutely no control. I came back late that evening and said,
You have spoken to your families
we realise it's going to take some time.
for them to get their money.
So the 24-hour deadline has been squashed. sigh of relief, I guess, first up, but these guys could just be completely lying to us. And having absolutely no idea what's being discussed outside of that room to our family or to whoever they're talking to. What's to stop them from just dragging us out at any stage and getting rid of us? I was angry at Amanda for having suggested going to Somalia. I guess I didn't want to blame myself for my situation. I started to withdraw from her.
I need you just as much as you need me.
We really only had each other. Stop being so miserable. If we continue to think that we're going to die, then the likelihood of that occurring is highly likely.
Okay.
I guess we went back into that protective, positive. We've got to be positive here, we've got to think positively. For me, it was really important to try and get them to see me as a human being. And so it would make it harder for them to kill me if it did come to that point.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
They were Muslim and they were interested in what our religious beliefs were.
Are you Christian?
Yes, I am.
He said to become Muslim would be the best thing that we could do. But if you don't convert, then the likelihood would be that they would get a ransom for us and then kill us.
I've read the Quran.
It wasn't really a decision that we had much option in. If we don't, then they're going to kill us anyhow.
I've told them we're ready to convert.
I'd been reading the Quran for about 3 days.
Hang on a minute. We've got to talk about this.
I was so underprepared.
We have to convert or they'll kill us.
I was terrified that if it wasn't convincing, what were the consequences for us being found out?
This is a massive decision.
She said, well, I've told them we can't go back on it now.
They're going to be here in the next hour or two.
If you convert and don't have true belief, then you're basically worse than an infidel. They believe that they have the right to kill you. In that situation, you're never going to feel ready.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
We didn't know what we were doing. If they thought we were faking it, then it was potentially life-threatening. I would sort of do everything a few seconds after them. I didn't feel that we were convincing at all. I felt like a complete fake.
Now, you are my brother.
And then after that, we were Muslim. I don't think I got any greater sense of security from the conversion. I wasn't really sure how long this life was going to have to last for. It was around the 8-week mark. They came in and said, stop talking.
Well, what's going on?
Where are we going?
Okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Okay.
I think I was terrified.
Okay.
You had no idea of what they're capable of. They've lost patience. They're just going to drive us out and kill us. We're then driven a short distance onto another house.
And you?
I'm frog marched out of the room that Amanda's in.
No.
It did actually terrify me. It scared the life out of me.
Your door must be closed at all times.
It's then explained to me if they catch us trying to communicate that they will beat us. For the two of us to be together for those first 8 weeks, and now all of a sudden we were split, was completely gutting. To now no longer have someone to talk with was devastating, absolutely devastating. I thought I was going to go south pretty quickly. My room was back of the house. Amanda would have to walk past my door to go to the bathroom. On that first day, she actually pushed my door open slightly and flicked a piece of paper. If we did get caught, they would beat us quite harshly. I was terrified as I sort of pulled it open. she'd written, "Just remember that we're still together. There's just a wall that divides us." It was such an important, I think, lifeline for both of us to have that simple ability to communicate. It got to a point where I wasn't planning further than one day ahead. Mate, you have no control. There's nothing you can do. You just got to sit in and hope that eventually you'll get out. Mental torture from them really starts to ramp up. At about 9 o'clock at night, I heard someone walk into Amanda's room.
Where are you taking me? Where's Nigel? No.
And this doesn't feel right.
Where are you taking me? Where is it?
She was put into a vehicle and then driven away. I was thinking the worst at that point, and I thought that I was not going to see her again. She may not be coming back ever. I was pretty sure that they were about to kill her. She's no longer part of this game, I guess. 2.5 hours later, I heard the car come back and heard her completely hysterical as she was being walked down the hallway. And she came straight over to our adjoining wall.
They said they were going to execute me.
She was pulled from the car and pushed down onto her knees and had a pistol put to her head and cocked.
And they put me on the phone to my mom.
She was then put on the phone to her mother and had to explain to her that if they weren't forthcoming with any money, they would execute her. I can remember feeling like I was going to vomit, just hearing that. Just sad, so sad. Oh, I couldn't do anything to stop it. That threat of knowing she may very well be killed. It is like having someone on death row.
Amanda, you're gonna have to write a will.
Because if I actually get out of here alive, the first thing I'm going to have to do if they kill you is go and see your family and explain to them what occurred. Both of us were completely demoralised, depressed, incredibly negative. I guess at this stage I was sort of pretty sure that they were going to kill her. For 5 months we were held with Abdin, our driver. It was in early January and saw them being ushered out of the house and was a little bit concerned. Woke up the next morning and I tried to ask,
What happened to Abdi and the driver?
They're gone.
Gone where?
and he said they were executed this morning. The fact that these guys had sort of gone through 5 months with us and now more than likely dead was devastating, you know. I thought we were going to end up the same way.
They've killed Abdi. We have to get out.
If they could do that to guys that had been Muslim forever, what were they going to do with a couple of people that had converted for not even 5 months? Made a decision to take matters into our own hands. We had a shared bathroom. We had the ability to leave notes for each other. Amanda, after what she had been through, she was pretty desperate to get out of the house. The decision to escape was, I guess, something that we felt we had to do. I'd actually been looking at our bathroom window. The mortar was only dabbed in each of the corners. I was pretty sure if I could get the middle 4 blocks out, that would give us a hole that would be big enough for both of us. I've got the route. We're going out the bathroom window. I needed Amanda to be a lookout for me. Her doors to her room actually look straight down the hallway. So while I went backwards and forwards to the bathroom to slowly chisel out this mortar, she would stand at the door. If anyone came, she would bang on the door. And then it was just like, oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack here. I was going to be caught absolutely red-handed. All it's going to take is for him to see this massive hole in the wall. But put the bricks back in, walked back to the room. I think the stress had taken its impact. I was just so exhausted. We knew that the mosque was close to us, so we thought, well, if we can make it to there, we will be safe. Right on midday prayer, I was going to follow Amanda into the bathroom, and I heard Amanda walk past. I just froze. I couldn't make myself walk out that door. I was so scared that we were going to get caught. Amanda actually came back from the bathroom.
What the hell are you doing?
And I said, I'm terrified.
We could very easily die today.
And she said, just have the courage to do this. And sucked in a couple of big breaths and went, righto, I've got to do this. Sprang open my door and we both slid down the hallway into the bathroom. I think both of us absolutely terrified. At the same time, exhilarated. If I'm going to die, then it's going to be on my terms and I'm going to decide when I actually die. Took out the 4 bricks and then hoisted Amanda up into the window. And watched her contort herself for what seemed like minutes. It was probably 30 seconds, I don't know. And watched her, with great excitement, disappear on the other side of the wall. Was so excited. It was like, I can't believe that we've just got out. And then that exhilaration's just completely turned to fear.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We just started running. We knew that the mosque was close and we've just legged it. We ran down between our house and the next door neighbour's house and looked left. I can remember seeing the minaret of the mosque. We completely burst in.
Help! Please! Help! I am Muslim.
Every single head in the mosque turns to us.
I am Muslim. We are Muslim. Please help.
I turn around and there is a masked gunman.
No!
Trying to pull me back out.
No! Please, no!
And all of a sudden, this protective circle came around us.
We have been kidnapped. This group are going to kill us if they don't get money for us.
And we told them that our lives are at risk.
If in fact that you are a Muslim, we will protect you.
He explained to us that the Imam would interview us, and if we were in fact Muslim, then they would protect us.
Thank you. This is our chance. We can get out.
We thought we'd pulled off the unimaginable. And then all of a sudden, everyone just ran. The kidnappers pushed their way through the crowd. I just thought, right, this is it. He's gonna shoot us. We were both ripped up off the ground. I just heard one single gunshot. 100% positive that she'd just been killed. They'd basically taken her out of the mosque and they've executed her. Just thinking, literally have a minute before I think I'm going to die. I was really surprised at how calm I was at that point. It was like I was looking down on myself. I actually really, really wanted to have the ability to ring Mum and Dad and tell them how sorry that I was. just tell them that I love them. I seriously thought that I was about to, well, I guess I'd used my 9 lives. And I saw Amanda, a complete and utter relief's probably not the right word. Exhilaration, maybe, that she was still alive. And Amanda then sort of said, "I'm so sorry for making you escape." And I just said, "Babe, you didn't make me do anything. You know, I chose." I said, "At least we had a go. At least we had a shot." We were both terrified that they were going to take us into the bush and execute us. We'd been driving for maybe 5 minutes and they came to a complete dead stop. They're going to drag us out and bullet to the head.
Please. No.
Please don't kill us. Please don't kill us.
Please don't kill us. Please don't kill us.
Please don't kill us.
And he was angry. He was incredibly, you could just see it in his face.
No. We were...
No, don't hurt me.
And the next thing...
Please.
And just smashed me straight in the face. We had made them look like complete amateurs. 2 people had been able to get away from 13 armed men. We were shackled, basically chains around my ankles. I've now become a slave. And he said, "If you run again,
We're gonna kill you."
"We'll kill you." And I said, "Yep." And I'm pretty sure that that's what you'll do. From that point on, things changed dramatically. After 12 months, you come to the realization that you can't do anything and you accept your circumstances. Just got to sit in and hope that eventually you'll get out. It's the 25th of November, 2009.
Please, tell me where we're going. Where's Nigel? Please.
I hear Amanda's chains walking down the hallway.
Where are we going? Where's Nigel?
I'm actually starting to think that they are going to either separate us completely or that they're going to sell her to someone else.
What's going on?
What's going on? And I'm then ordered to stand up.
Come on, please. Tell me what's going on.
And no one's talking.
No, stop. Please give me my Quran.
I want to have this book. This is my security.
Don't take anything.
It was just a terrifying experience.
Go.
And we're thrown in the back seat together. And we sort of interlock hands, and she was like,
Where are they taking us?
Don't know.
like, I have no idea. Don't talk. We drive for quite a long time. It was tense. It was really tense. I guess at this point I had sort of convinced myself that they're just going to drive us out and kill us.
Oh my God! Nigel's going on!
And then all of a sudden, a utility with a massive 50mm cannon just comes out of nowhere. Didn't have any idea whatsoever who they were.
What's happening? What is happening?
It was like a rerun of the ambush.
What are you doing with us?
This is going to end in an absolute bloodbath. Everyone is going to die because there's going to be an all-out war for these 2 prized Westerners because they're worth money.
Go. Where are we going?
But both of us are pretty hysterical.
Wait, no.
And we're taken out of that vehicle and thrown into this vehicle.
Calm down, be calm.
There's a guy, and he's saying, be calm, and you're safe. Is this real? Is this actually happening? Is this a dream? And that's, I guess, the first time that I actually believe that we've been free. I'm absolutely, bawling like a baby. And it wasn't sad, it was happy. It was the fact that I was going to get to see my family was astounding. It's words can't really explain.
For 462 days, our family has hoped that this day would come. This has been an unbelievably harrowing and wearing ordeal, and nothing could have prepared us as a family for what we have gone through since Nigel's capture.
I made a decision very early on not to be a victim, not to come home and in some respects have that, poor me, I've been through this trauma.
It feels so good to be home. It's hard to believe I'm standing here safe on Australian soil. I must confess there were times when I wondered if this moment would ever come. I actually believe that I'm a better person for it, and I'm, more compassionate and understanding and less driven by money and success, and it's more about being in the moment and enjoying the people that you love in your life.
Thank you for listening to Locked Up Abroad. You don't want to miss a single episode, so subscribe today on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, the Wondery app on Android, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll find a link to subscribe on the episode notes. Simply tap or swipe over the cover art. You'll also see some great offers from our sponsors. Please support our show by supporting our sponsors. If you have a moment, I'd love for you to complete a small survey at Wondery.com/survey. Give us your ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts, and be sure to tell all your friends about our show. Locked Up Abroad was produced by Raw TV Limited for National Geographic Channels. For our audio adaptation, the editor is Sergio Enriquez. Our producer is Donna Himes. Our executive producers are Jeffrey Glazer and Hernan Lopez for Wondery.
Do something witchy was the last thing Charles Manson said to his followers the night he sent them out to slaughter 5 people at the home of director Roman Polanski and actress Sharon Tate. But how did a troubled kid from West Virginia become Charles Manson? Join me, Tracy Patton, and Stephen Lang from the hit films Avatar and Don't Breathe in Young Charlie as we journey into the mind of one of the most infamous murderers ever to stalk Hollywood. Subscribe to Young Charlie on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to this right now.